Right out of the gate, we have a David comment. We can't possibly. This Texaho. Well, ready to bash the. Oh, she's gonna go nuts on the millennials with this MTV thing we're starting with.
All right.
She's gonna Texaho's gonna go crazy on the millennials. We're gonna read some. I want to welcome everyone. Depisode Wino Forever the Deppening. Depisode 79, I believe. Right.
Mm-hmm.
80 is going to be what, Friday? We're doing that.
I think so. If anybody wants to jump on, please do. I can have the night off. Just kidding. I'll do it. But what are we gonna do for 100? Take like a month off, right?
That's we're gonna have to make it some numerical significance. 100 something in Depp's life. I can't. I have to figure it out. I'm sure I'll. 21 Jump Street got syndicated. Stephen J. Cannell. These showrunners and their little financial hocus. They become like almost like hedge fund managers after a while. He had that shitty syndicated fifth season. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking about? Depp left and Aoki left, and it was like it wasn't really on Fox. It was on kind of syndicated, and you had to. And so DeLuise stuck around, Steve Williams stuck around, and Holly Robinson stuck around, and they brought in DeLuise's brother Michael. Remember that guy Michael
I
Bendetti? He
do.
was like one of the Deplicant. He was like a doppelganger,
Yeah.
and they superimposed him in Depp's opening scenes, and it was horrible. It was so. I remember how I wanted to jump out of my skin when I watched those opening credits.
I remember that episode with Dom and 15 of the Sons as co-stars. And
That was.
yes, Caveman DeLuise, the younger brother, and Encino Weeze.
He was in Wayne's World.
Of course he was.
That's pretty good. He was in the famous when they're singing Queen. They're all in the car cruising around together, and they all sing Queen in unison. And
Mm.
Galileo, Galileo, and he
Oh,
sort of
that's right.
he mouths it, and he's in the back. A lot of people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
David's got a great idea. Um, Andrew Morgan's always got this fucking. He'd be a great on the fly Jackie comedy writer. Actually, a lot of people in this chat would. Find the Portlandia sketch where the two Gen Xers go to MTV headquarters about how sucky it is now. The president of programming is a 12-year-old girl with a Valley Girl voice. Holy shit. You obviously watched Portlandia, Sarah. Is that
Very few. I watched the Eddie Vedder episode and I watched the Battlestar Galactica episode, and that was probably it.
David? Thank you. I'm writing that down on my dry erase board of binge watching. David, David, of all people, David gave me two or three recommendations of early '80s, late '70s movies shot and set in that gritty New York.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Network, and another one was kind of a fruit basket movie. But I don't really care. I'll watch it just to watch the New York in the background. I'm just
Yeah.
looking for the
Dog Day
feel.
Afternoon.
No, it wasn't. The Dog Day Afternoon is actually 1975, the Al Pacino bank robber movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that twice.
Did you like
But
it?
that was very much part of my binge period though. When I first started doing that, I had a master list of about, I don't know what it was, 30 movies, and I just kept like a month straight. It was just one movie. It had to be set and shot in New York, late 70s, it could be the 70s and early 80s in New York. So you had that gritty, evil, sexy, crazy, cool old New York feel to it.
Yeah. I have an idea for episode 100. We quit. Just kidding.
Oh my God. Sariana
We did
Huffington.
it. We're done.
But Portlandia, I feel like I want to go right to that episode. I wonder what season. How many? I won a few seasons, right? It was on IFC.
I think so.
Fred Armisen. I wonder where he got that name from. Long
No.
Islander. He's from Valley Stream.
Mm-hmm.
Drummer. A. Smith, welcome, sir. Hooper, David. Place your wages. Place Yahweh. Mr. Hooper, 45. We use proper grammar. We don't say thing like Yah wages here in this classroom. Over 806 Eastern Standard Time. Vegas is reporting arm is in dis. Isn't it amazing what Vegas has lines on? I bet you Hooper's right. I bet you they have lines on this on what time I start the show.
Well, degenerates, yeah, they look for any reason to uh let's see, what is it? Bet their rent or their mortgage, yeah, so they can't feed their children.
Do you know
Absolutely.
how much I would be a billionaire if I knew Vegas had these types of lines? And they probably didn't back in the day. They have lines for rebounds individual rebounds, not in a game, not just in a game, obviously in a whole game, in a quarter, in a half, in a. Can you believe that they have this shit now? I would know exactly what if I saw a guy have a bad rebound game. I go, oh, okay, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder the next game and get 15 rebounds. I
Mhm.
would have been a billionaire if those lines existed. I was playing fantasy sports before, like in my teens when they first started. You had to mail it in. You can't believe that you had to fill a lineup out and mail it to this
Oh,
mother thing, and they would process it in some Jeff Schick type computer, and then spit it back to you. And if it wasn't postmarked by a certain date, your lineup didn't count. You had to
you got
use
like
the
a
next one.
Scantron,
Yeah, yes.
perforated form to fill out?
And you drafted by mailing it in, like you prioritize
Oh
guys,
god.
and then they would spit it back to you. And we would deliberately, my cousin and I shared a franchise. We were two gay cousins going to see a celebrity. By the way, Winona Ryder is in Celebrity. Remember I talked about DiCaprio did a
Mhm.
Depp Kate Moss impression
Yeah.
in that movie. Winona Ryder, I forgot, is in that movie. Isn't that crazy?
Mhm. I still have to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
My cousin and I shared a fantasy basketball team and baseball team. Definitely basketball, and it was fun. We never really disagreed. We collaborated on moves to make and trade. You had to call the owner on the phone, like a real GM. Like you had to and like negotiated. You would like hold out and act like you weren't interested. It was like what a real GM does,
Mhm.
because we're on the phone. Like you'd make long distance phone calls. The worst thing is if a player you wanted, what the guy had a phone number in like I don't know, San Antonio, and you had to call Texas in the late
Oh,
in the
no.
early 90s.
No.
Stay on the phone for an hour and a half talking about Otis Thorpe.
Mm. You could do it. They'd have to cut you off after a half hour.
Oh, it's such a better world now technologically that that's
Mhm.
not even. What did Andrew Morgan? That's Andrew said 100 episode C in Roman numerals. That's his joke about how I hate the Super Bowl. We got to get away from Roman numerals in
Too
general.
bad.
You like Roman
I can
numerals?
read them, yes. I'm very smart.
John O'Reilly says twin celebration episode 500 and a Kirkland hot dog number 500
Yeah.
in line. That might be true. He's obsessed with John O'Reilly's mastered Costco humor and Ben Chew humor. If there's some way we could combine the two.
I'd love to eat a hot dog.
You agree with me? Do you agree with me on Costco? I'm going to
I love
ignore
Costco
that
dogs.
phallic.
The problem is Costco dogs stick with me for like 2 days, but right now it's a waste because I can't taste anything, so
So anyway, hi Hooper, hi Andrew Morgan, Gina Bobina, welcome. What's Gina? She is the Superman, the Phantom Zone website, Crypto Nymphazi, and I truly believe that should be the name of who my Crypto Nymphazi over here,
mm,
a Kryptonian female villain. They need a new Superman female villain.
by the way,
That's what I would go.
Melvin, that's why I paused after I said that so you could jot that down and put it in chat. He quoted me, "I'd love to eat a hot dog."
Oh, Melvin's already doing the Melvin quotes.
Mhm.
Melvin's quotes. Melvin and Bon Jovi are working in lockstep with. He finds the thing, gives it to Bon Jovi, a timestamp, and Bon Jovi makes the
That's
clip,
fine. That's
the sound
perfectly
drop.
fine. I hate to do
Out of New
this.
York,
We got to get into it in this
children.
episode.
Okay, J.A. Young. I think I watched that. Children of Times Square is a good New York movie about the CD. Hey, J.I. Young, is the black guy from Revenge of the Nerds, Lamar Cottrell, in that movie? Am I thinking of the same one? And not only that, Sarah, the
Clap your
21
hands,
Jump Street
everybody.
pilot. Yes, that's him. That's him.
I know, I love that
Everybody
movie.
clap your hands. The first Revenge of the Nerds is truly one of the top
It
five
is
comedies of
one
all
of,
time.
I'd say top 3 maybe for me.
Maybe three. Maybe three. The star of the movie is none other than Brandon Douglas.
I don't even
Who
hate Revenge of the Nerds 2.
it's okay. What are they? Nerds in Paradise? Is that the?
Yes.
Okay, I barely
And
remember.
the Hotel Coral SX is a classic in my brain. And you remember what the sign said?
No.
Some of the lights were burned out on the sign, so it said hot oral sex.
Oh, I don't remember that. I mean,
Oh my god.
I I love the party with the what was the black fraternity heads oversaw the crazy party they had with
The tri no, not
the
is it
Trilambs?
Trilambs? Yeah,
Yeah, the Trilambs. I gotta watch
yeah.
it again. I gotta
Thank
watch
you,
it all
John
again.
O'Reilly, 4.99. Appreciate it. We'll
What a
cover.
mensch.
He's buying you 2 Kirkland dogs and a 40-ounce soda.
Hey, John, once again, in appreciation, thedeppening@gmail.com or 17 Squabble Lane or get me at Arm34 on Twitter or whatever. I have so many Jets games with your name all over it from the 80s. Shea Stadium era, after it. I have so many. I was just looking through. I got a few more. Just last night, I downloaded on my hard drive Seattle Jets 1983 from Shea Stadium. I think that's Dave Craig. I don't know. Was Jim Zorn still a quarterback at that point? Or was it back to Dave Craig?
I don't know.
I know you don't.
Oh,
But like,
we are
before I forget, J.A. Young, thank you. Children of Times Square, Brandon Douglas, who plays Kenny Weckerly in the 21 Jump Street pilot. Hanson's first assignment is the star of that movie. I swear to God. Kenny
okay.
Weckerly.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Sarah.
Before we get started, which we need to do because I have to be tucked into bed very soon, we are almost on iTunes and possibly Spotify. Spotify may have an issue with the music we use. I'm trying to deal with that, but
Good to know.
we are almost MP3 only. So I will let everybody know when that's done.
Yeah, that's about time we did that. We were getting a lot of complaints, people. So now it's on the Podbean, so you can,
Well, that's what I'm using, yes, but they won't.
right. But
They
you
don't
can
need to know
download
that.
off that or initially.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's a good start. That's a good start. So now
it's
it's
almost
audio.
done. I'm just waiting on approval.
That's some backlog too. We're almost at 80 episodes, and some of them are
Mm-hmm.
really long. If you make these things too visual, sometimes we do that with Radio Gunk. You need it to translate to fully audio. If
Yep.
it's too visual, if you just we did a thing where this is like a few weeks ago. It was Monique, Dennis, and I. I don't think Xavier was there, and we did nothing but watch GIFs, and all we did was go, "Wow, wow, oh my god, wow."
Mm-hmm.
And how that translates to an audio, I have no idea. I mean, we obviously talked and stuff we did, but literally half the episode and we caught ourselves just going, "Oh my god, wow, wow." So how would you possibly,
You don't.
put that on audio? It's just completely visual. And we knew that. I stopped it in the middle. I go, "We got to stop saying wow." Because it was just because you're not. It's not a talking thing. It didn't lend itself to commentary. It was like a lot of just move on to the next one. It's weird,
We
but
don't.
it's all visual.
I'm happy on this show that we rarely even need a visual. We can bullshit for 4 hours, and we have to stop ourselves to actually go to bed. But I think this will work very well on audio only.
SG Canada, hashtag Heard Husbands Unite, Vindicate Amber. UK got it right. He's got 6 hashtags he uses. Amber's IQ. I love this. It's my favorite one. I think Amber's IQ is higher than ours.
I'm
it
not
could.
going to
It may
agree with
very well
that.
be. It may very well be.
I can't even laugh at that. I don't find it humorous.
I don't know how we would have an IQ test. She and I. That would be interesting. I'm
Well,
not calling her stupid. Look, she Donnie Brasco Depp. She Donnie Brasco in 2009. She's got something going on upstairs. She's a sociopath without a doubt, and a narcissist and borderline personality disorder, but she's not stupid.
let's
I'm
bring
not going to
in
call her stupid.
let's bring in Dr. Spank Me Mommy Curry to administer the tests between
That's
the
a
two of
good
you.
idea. And Dr. Spiegel.
No, God. All right.
Melvin, everybody. So we're gonna jump right in here. We're gonna this John. Thanks again, thanks again, sir. And like I said, Jets, Seahawks, 1983, Shea Stadium with your name all over it.
Mm.
Um, wouldn't it be pronounced Nymphozy, like nympho? Yeah, that's exactly. I said it right. G Canada's got to correct. He's always got to prove how superior Canada is.
I think you guys would both, like, if you met, you'd
I
have
love
just
G Canada. He's
you
such
would
a
start
great.
just like this torrid hate affair.
No, he's a Canadian sitcom waiting to happen. In this, he truly is like a walking chat sitcom all to himself.
There's a lot of passion going on under the surface of this relationship, I feel.
Passion for one another or our.
Yes, I think it's a secret passion.
I think I like Canada more than he does. I like that he pretends he doesn't know comic books too. He thinks he's like too much testosterone for, too cool for comic books and too as if he doesn't have every fucking John Byrne Alpha Flight issue that was ever
Mhm.
created, as if he doesn't. Okay, so Vinny Testaverde, that's a guy with. I think he was on the Browns briefly, right, Vinny? Limp. Oh please, Johnny got that limp noodle close to Amber just once, and after he's Helen. Depp has the he has my Matt Murdock vision. He has really bad eyes, which
Okay,
I did not know. I would love to know if he wears contact lenses.
I would assume
Doesn't
so.
I want one of the disappointing things about the trial? Maybe we could find it in the excavated, unsealed documents. I want more cosmetic secrets. I
Mhm.
think there's hair plug shit going on. I think there's all sorts of stuff like that. I want to know about contact lenses. I want all of it. Okay, so here we're gonna go. So obviously we preempted this because of the MTV VMAs, the not so secret little drop. And I want to pose this question to everybody: you have to leak this because who the fuck is gonna watch this show unless I mean this whole. I think it
That's
was.
why. Yeah, that's the only reason. I haven't watched this fucking show since 1999,
Well,
98, 99.
that's the big thing now. Everyone's especially the Generation X, going even Generation Y, is it, or like who knows MTV exists? I posed this last time. Where is it on your respective cable things? Even if you have like YouTube TV or what is it, Comcast or Verizon FiOS or whatever the hell you use. Do you even know where MTV, DirecTV, Dish TV? Do you know where it even is? Do you even when I was,
No.
in the 90s and certainly the 80s when you had less options, it was MTV was very much a stop on my channel flipping. It was my go-to channel when nothing was on. If you stayed home from school like in the late 80s and that fucking we talked about the soap opera period where like 9 a.m. to like 2 in the afternoon when nothing is on. That
Mhm.
was that was your go-to thing for me. MTV was like you watch repeats of Remote Control or video marathons or whatever. It was always there for you.
I just
And
remember we had a satellite. That was the only reason I could get it for like 2 months before the contract ran out. My dad was not very educated in that. But the contract ran out. It was on satellite was half the size of the house, and MTV was on F3. That's all I
wow.
know. And then it ran out because he didn't know what he was reading or
You're
signing.
such a fan of grunge and that I can't believe you accepted not watching the grunge explosion
Do
of the
you
early 90s on
understand?
MTV.
Kurt Cobain was dead when I got MTV finally.
That's insane.
I was either a sophomore or a junior in high school. I'm extra
94.
slurry today. I'm so sorry.
94, right? April of
Yeah.
94. That's a really short run. Like you don't realize like you said he has like a huge summer house. It's like did he even enjoy it? Like he was
Olympia.
barely they were rich for a couple of years when he was alive.
Yeah. No, Carnation. I'm sorry. I get him mixed up. He had a house in Carnation, Washington. That's one of the places they checked when they were looking for him for a week. But yeah. It's a house that's never photographed. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get going.
Hooper wants to put me in the Wolverine's Weapon X program with Sabretooth and Deadpool and Maverick and everybody. Uh to put him in the tundra to toughen him up. I would be great. Put me in the Weapon X program, Hooper. Infuse me with adamantium. I'm all for it. There's Rodney. Hey, Rodney.
Mhm.
Seahawks Jets Stadium in 1983. How many TDs did Dave Craig throw to Steve Largent in that game? Why not for it? Hey, Rodney, I want to. If you want to sit in with us one of the Armageddon Friday or Thursdays, you are more than welcome to, sir. I think you really hit all the notes during that. I don't know if you'd be up for it if you're free or anything, but I'll put it out there. And that goes for everybody.
Mhm.
But you have to know, not that you not to speak, but you have to have some semblance of passion for the Depp Stern universe because it's kind of not that it's always going to be Stern on Thursday. We're in this mode right now of series where I'm finding these Depp Stern things. I still have a ton of stuff I haven't gotten to from that.
This is like going to be a 20-part
But
series.
Rodney knows legitimately knows a ton about Depp. Like he knows Jump Street
Good.
episodes and quotes and shit. He legitimately he's like a I would say he's a super fan. His sister was at the trial. Remember she sent us a video of the line?
Mhm. Yeah.
I had a Texas San Antonio Spurs question for Roddy. I can't remember what it was. It's bothering the shit out of me. I don't think it's gonna hit me. I'm not gonna. It'll eat my brain if I dwell on it. Sarah, have you ever made catnip for your crazy cartoon cat Camilla? Says Melvin. What's up?
She has a very sensitive little tummy. It's very cute, but it's very sensitive. I have to be careful what I feed her or give
So
her.
do I. I have a
Even
very
catnip,
sensitive.
it just all over the place.
Affy says Sarah likes a music genre that doesn't shower.
That's all right. Give me Eddie Vedder fresh off the stage in '92, and I'll show you what I can do.
I think because it rains so much, Pearl Jam's like, we
Yeah,
don't
the
have to
rain is a
shower.
natural
Yeah,
shower.
we don't
You
have to
just walk
shower.
outside.
Is it true that your area, that Pacific Northwest, has like an ego about umbrellas? Like you're a pussy
Yeah.
if you wear an umbrella, if you
Yes.
have an umbrella, you have to walk around. I'm not kidding. I
If
heard that.
you if you are unable to walk from your car to the building, even, in a rain shower for 2.5 seconds, you're a pussy. Get out of my state. I don't even have an umbrella.
G Canada goes, Hooper, we are talking about a single man with a cat. What the fuck is that? Only one way a man would have a cat is if it's. That's that generalization is almost true. It's not across the board, but he's almost right with that. NA, welcome. There's a contrarian. There's a Depp contrarian. NA would love the Depp delusion Reddit subreddit thread. Where all they do
That's all
is
right.
they actually dig deeper than the hardcore. It's crazy shit in there. We're gonna definitely have a whole episode dedicated to them. It's just a crazy feminazis, Amber Heard fans for the most part. I mean, they're not all fans. They're feminazis and they kind of like.
Now they watched like the 2 days she testified and then they turned it off.
But it's just fun to watch the other side, how the other half lives,
And
and
somehow
they
found that credible.
yeah they well this actually I mean every now and again they got a good point. Every
No,
once
right.
in a while
They can be totally like
we push back all the time. I push back all the time on things I don't like about it. Is
whatever point they make can usually be disassembled in 3 words.
oh look at Jay Young's quoting it already. Hooper, we're oh, was it? It was a friend of Rodney. I guess it wasn't a sister. I'm sorry, Rodney. We're going to send arm to Canada. Sugar Shack syrup season. The witches will straighten them out. What the hell?
I don't know.
I
People
love.
up north are weird. They like hang out in the forest up north, I think.
Well, we were very late to Tim Hortons is like a donut coffee place that Long Island got like 5 years ago, and apparently it's like a real staple in Canada. It's a great. Apparently, they have the best coffee and donuts, and Long Island needed something. Long Island's very late with a lot of fast food stuff. They think because it's very arrogant. They think, oh, we have our own. We don't need your Carl's Jr.
Please. Carl's Jr. is delicious, so get out of my state if you don't like Carl's Jr. because it's
Ah, there's
everywhere.
Brendan, Depp and WWF Fusion. I wonder if Brendan would agree to sit in. I bet he. I don't know. Rodney says, "Wino forever the Deppening clock. Can you read this in your Depp voice?" Jack, get MTV on the phone. I have an idea. Because Rodney's right. I think Depp wrote that entire dialogue. It's right out of
Well,
his
I'm
mouth.
sure it had to be
Yeah.
approved, whatever he said.
Oh, Jack,
Okay,
get MTV on the phone. I have an
speaking
idea.
of, let's get into it.
Okay, so do you want? Okay, I want to go right into the story,
Yes.
and then we'll play. Okay, so I am going to play the. You insisted because you have such an affinity for entertainment tonight.
Well, if you have
You
just
and
the
your
clips, just play those.
Conchetta, I'll make your panties wetter.
Oh my God.
You remember when Jackie wrote that for
Mm,
Howard? John
barely.
Tesh. I am
Oh,
the Clyde
yes. Okay.
Frankenstein.
Legend Connie Selica.
Overhauling, right? Is the title of this folder?
Yeah.
Okay. Depp and Camille, astronaut. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Are
Oh
you
my
just
God.
playing the just play the clips? Skip the entertainment tonight.
Hold on a second here. Um, you don't want the
No, not if we're just going to see
whole.
the clips anyway.
Shoot. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm looking. This folder stuff gives me such a friggin' headache.
How many folders you got there that you don't need?
I don't even want to venture a guess. Amber's sister slams. I have two folders. I mistakenly downloaded it into the wrong folder, which happens all the time.
Mhm.
Um, God damn, what I do with the ET one? Nightmare on Elm Street,
Do you have the clips?
Hard Sun. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
play those.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the compilation, but I'm not. I'm distracted because I spent all this fucking time. Here comes Angry Arm. Here it comes. You can feel it.
Not directed at me, I'm fine.
Your condescension doesn't help
Oh, please.
with my mood.
You dab your brow and pat your little hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is it. I think. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
I needed the work.
Johnny Depp makes a surprise appearance at the 2022 VMAs, and he's really committing to his latest role as Moonman during Sunday's ceremony.
You have to take it all very seriously, you know.
The actor's brief cameo as the full-size astronaut follows epic opening performances from Jack Harlow and Fergie.
Just what everybody. I know, Sari. Before we went on, like a few days ago, you had texted me. If I had a dream collaboration in the history of music, it would be Jack Harlow and Fergie. You said
I
that,
don't even
and here
know.
it is. You got it. You asked for it. Here it is.
Fergie,
Jack Harlow.
all
The
I know
combo. We've
is she banged Wyclef whatever, I think, and she used to do meth. That's all I know about her. I don't know who this guy is in his circus shirt. I don't know.
even worse. Do you think Depp knows who they are?
No, and I'm happy he
That's
doesn't.
that's later on he goes, let's get back to the music. What? It's a little bit of an oxymoron, Mr. Depp, and I know you hate the state of pop music.
And Lizzo.
That's easily your favorite song, and here's your second favorite artist.
I don't even know.
You remind me
Oh,
of Lizzo, by the
honey.
way. My favorite song.
After joking he, quote, needed the work, later in the show he appears again, this time offering a list of jobs he's available for. He totally takes a jab at himself.
Why did he take a jab at himself?
Dentist.
Yeah, dentist. Why? Why is it the Jack Sparrow teeth?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It is a
She doesn't
reach
know
on a
why.
joke.
She's
I
reading
never.
that. She doesn't know why that's a joke.
Yeah.
That's not Holly Robinson, by the way. They don't all sound the same, Sarah. God damn it.
I thought it was.
That's,
Damn
by
it.
the way, down the road, you got to remind me to do this. Holly Robinson was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we have to do something. The full thing is available. The full ceremony.
Rodney paid a penny for that
Rodney
star.
Pete, you know who taught Magic
Oh,
inducts her, and do you know what Magic Johnson's favorite television show is?
I don't tell me.
Magic turned 60, and he went on Twitter and he put a list of his 60 favorite things.
He's so
His
stupid.
favorite television show, 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, he lied. He never saw an
No,
episode.
this is I'm telling you, he he had Holly Robinson on his great talk show, and he said that to her on the talk show.
Can you
And I've remembered that ever since.
can you leave
Magic's got a very controversial Twitter.
I know. He tweets like he's 10. I need you to keep
You
it.
know what he tweets like, Sarah? He's like Larry King's USA Today column.
Mhm. God. I
By
need you to keep it on
far, one of
this.
my favorite networks has got to be CBS. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm enjoying the view right now.
Ugh,
He's looking
talking
at me
about.
from across the room.
I thought you meant Joy Behar.
Oh, of course.
Referencing his career comeback after winning his
Oh.
high-profile defamation case
Oh.
against
Just
Amber
winked at you.
Heard.
I
In June,
know.
a source told ET Depp was, quote, case against Amber Heard.
She's taller
Okay.
than him in this shot. So
Mhm.
she's obviously wearing huge high heels. He's about 5'10", 5'11". If she wears super heels, I think she's 5'8", 5'9". So
Mhm.
if she wears super heels, she can be taller than him. I've seen a few of
Mhm.
these.
That's fine.
One of these days we got to do it'll really piss off comedy nerds when she gets to go to the Don Rickles
Oh my
tribute
God.
in Harlem.
I
That was
wish
on Spike
I
TV.
I wish you would have turned to her and given her like the honey, nobody knows who you are.
Look what Affy writes here. Work is code for cocaine.
Oh, that's fine.
Bird.
Um,
In June, a source told ET.
Sorry, Sarah. Go ahead.
that's fine. I think we're past the good stuff on this. So if you want to go to the clips,
Let's ride it. It's only a couple of seconds left.
she
Depp was,
annoys
quote,
me.
looking forward to the future, both personally and professionally, and feels like he got his career back. Earlier this month, it was announced Johnny would direct his first film in 25 years, Modi. Plus, he's returning to the big screen as King Louis XV.
Just what the MTV crowd loves, right? This current fans of Lizzo would love to see movies about French artists and Modi
Oh well.
and King Louis XV. That's usually the same crossover, right? If you're going to
Mm-hmm.
promote a King Louis XV movie, it's going to be to the MTV crowd that loves Lizzo. There's a huge crossover there. Same people.
Plus, he's returning to the big screen as King John Dubarry. While fans await his big acting return, let's embrace Johnny Depp, the Moonman.
Hey, you know what? I needed the work.
Hey, G Canada, you got some nerve. I never watched 21 Jump Street. Canada wouldn't
He's
exist
talking about
without 21
himself.
Jump Street. Yeah, no, I know. He doesn't
Okay.
realize his country wouldn't exist without you would have been incorporated into you owe half your gross national product to the fact that 21 Jump Street went to Vancouver to shoot their show. It was the first show to ever do it in 1987. There would be no Canada without 21 Jump Street going to Vancouver in 1987. You owe that show. You owe it to the Deppening to binge watch. I would love G Canada's opinion on the show
He
because
wouldn't make it.
it's so beneath him.
He wouldn't make it to the first commercial break of the pilot.
Look at Rodney Rodney can connect the dots like no one else can. Speaking of Holly Robinson and Rodney Pete, what was Rodney Pete's head-to-head record against Troy Aikman? Did either of them get to the Rose Bowl during that rivalry? I had something I want. Oh, when David went to Troy Aikman's wedding. I didn't realize this, Sarah, because you love outing people. Do you know that? And I couldn't. Skip Bayless and Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman hates Skip. Skip Bayless is a cowboy
Mm-hmm.
groupie, and he's a sportscaster who's obsessed with the Cowboys, and he's a big Spurs fan too. I'm sure Rodney's got some opinions on this guy. He wrote a book in 1996 or 7, and he basically outed Troy Aikman. He just called him he's gay in the book,
Mm-hmm.
and they acted like it was fact. And I think Troy Aikman sued him for defamation, and he has hated him with a passion ever since. Troy Aikman is not gay. David is evidence of that by playing his wedding. And I just read this. This is like an ongoing thing. Did you know that,
I knew about
Sarah?
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course. You know all
Oh,
things
I
Howard
did.
today.
I can't help. I'm not gonna
From
lie.
Tom
Yes, I knew
Cruise to
that.
Travolta to Kevin Spacey, you know it first. You would have been the greatest gossip columnist
I detest
that
Skip
ever existed.
Bayless with my every fiber of my being.
Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of these like love to
Old
hate him
creeper.
guys who's on TV. Like people watch him to hate him, and his show must do really well because it's a national show. It's national. It's not in Texas, and he talks about the Cowboys 70% of no matter what time of year, no matter what he's doing cowboy stories in April. Like it and it's like, are you alienating? Fox just lets him he must get ratings because they let him do whatever he wants. It's the
Mm-hmm.
weirdest thing. Cowboy stories. They could go 5-12 and he's doing cowboy stories in April. Like full segments on them. And Shannon
Mm-hmm.
Sharp just goes along with it, catches those checks and goes along with it.
No, I would too, but Skip Bayless, the way he talks about some of his favorite players, it's so creepy.
Yeah.
He's
He
so worked up, and
he's when he went he's 70 now.
yeah, he's constantly sniffing like he just did a rail right before the show started. And he's just weird.
Oh,
Anyway.
you noticed that too? He did the
Yeah.
Adderall sniff? Yeah, he does the Trump Adderall sniff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, think about it. He's that show's on at like he must get up at like 3 in the morning to do that show. The guy's 70 something years old. He's got to be running on something besides just passion.
Mm-hmm.
Canada couldn't protect their own favorite son, Dino Bravo. Pitiable. You know the wrestler. Everything with Brendan is 50% chance he's going to make a wrestling reference. Canada couldn't even protect their favorite son, Dino Bravo. Pitiable wannabe. Dino Bravo has a great documentary, I think, on Vice. Vice has great wrestling documentaries. Does anyone know which night of the week the original? Yes, Sunday night, 7 o'clock.
Sundays at 7.
It's probably. I think in the. I heard in the Central Time Zone they actually ran it at 6. It didn't. It didn't automatically be 7. So the
Well,
Central
it was on at 7 in Oregon. That's all I care about.
Sunday night, 7 o'clock. G Canada. They turned the lights on the Fox network, and then in the 89-90, the season 4 it moved to Monday nights, and then Booker followed it.
Mm-hmm.
It moved to Monday at 8 o'clock, and then Booker was on at 9, right against Monday Night Football. If anyone can beat Monday Night Football, it's Richard Grieco. Sarah, who's gay in Hollywood that we don't know about?
I don't know.
But why are there rappers on that show? So now here's the thing now with MTV before I forget, right? So who does people MTV is owned by that huge conglomerate where it's like CBS and Nickelodeon, Infinity, I think is Paramount the mother company of that. So Depp is obviously in the shithouse for um, Disney and Warner Brothers. So this is a non-entity of Warner Brothers and Disney. This is the other conglomerate that now is almost like giving you a wink, wink. He's ours now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's that movie company that there's literally 10 huge. It's this huge conglomerate, and there's 10 subsidiaries within this arm of what would you call it? Infinity, CBS.
I'm
Is it
not.
Paramount's the mother company?
I don't know who owns who anymore. I
I
don't
don't
know.
either. Like Nickelodeon's under this umbrella, and so they decided, well, we're going to jump on this and claim ownership. And MTV forever has tried to do this, like jump on the infamy train, try to do this, like this hot mess cameo appearance free forever. The VMAs has tried to do these stunts where and then Howard's Fartman. I mean, right? I mean, I actually have that in the Britney Spears kissing Madonna and Christina Aguilera, and they're always trying to do the. I I bet you, they approached both Amber and Depp and said, "You come out together, come out once,
I'm
whatever." They tried.
sure.
I guarantee they approached them both.
You want to?
They'll do anything to
Someday
get
we'll
to get
find
to the
out. So I
bottom
would
of it.
love to bet you right now.
You don't think they approached Amber Heard too?
No.
I don't put anything past them. They'll do anything to get a buzz going. And who's what? Like I said, you don't even know this thing is on. It needs all the help, and it knows it needs all the help. I really believe like this could have been like their last show, and they said, you know what? Let's start a rumor through TMZ, which probably is owned by that same conglomerate, and we'll just leak a rumor that Depp's going to be he'll be on, and
Well,
so
kind of.
well, everybody. Obviously, as you know, it was a computer generated
Well, I wanted to
superimposition.
say that when we played the clips.
Let's say it now.
No, let's start the clips and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Oh, so then I know why I never watched. A Sunday was banging the girl from Sergi Canada. He his brother. Lauren
Watch.
Marie, welcome, Lauren. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Joe Simpson used to warm up Troy Aikman's arm before game. Is that a gay joke or is that true? Jessica Simpson's dad is gay. Is that true? I believe him. Barbara DeRush, welcome. My dog is named after Emmett Smith, and he is not gay. Okay. So I'm going to play this. So I put together so that's not everything. There's 4 times he came out during the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it like they try to do the interstitial thing, which MTV will do, where he'll introduce something or they'll go to a commercial and they show him. So wouldn't it be funny if they proved that they filmed this before the trial? Like they they anticipated what was going to happen, and they filmed this before the trial, knowing just this pompous thing that we knew what was going to happen, and so they somehow got like a copyright on it, and they filmed it like in early May or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's possible. The hair doesn't match what he's got currently, so I don't know. We'll see. But I forget what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
What is the hair? What's your take on the hair right
I
now?
think it's Hollywood vampire era hair, but I don't know. I have to look at it here
It
to
looked like it
see.
was. It looked like it had the rockabilly
It looks
vampire
like, yeah, it
hair.
looks like it might be shaved around the bottom half.
Okay, so this is the other two things that are not shown in that Entertainment Tonight um, segment clip.
Hey, VMAs. Let's get back to the music, shall we?
Okay. Oh, that's not music.
That's your favorite song. Did you hear? So the oxymoronic nature of that statement. You're right, Sarah.
His hair is
It's
shaved.
shaved on the left. That's a great call by you.
And by
So,
the way, go down one with the volume, by the way, but it's not
oh,
your fault.
stop,
It's not your fault.
Grandma.
But it's a hologram. The face is projected on the helmet. That's not even him.
I got a
So
helmet.
yeah, this was certainly done months ago.
No, you were absolutely right. That
Unless,
that predates the trial by a lot.
well, unless I got to look at his face when he's talking. I don't know if the lips are lining up with the voice, but he may have just recorded the voiceover recently.
Yeah,
And the
and they
face
used
might be
whatever
just
face
like a
they wanted
frozen
to.
yeah, the
Yes.
face might be a frozen image. I don't know. I got to look at it.
Look at a frozen image, honey,
Yeah, sure.
and a helmet,
Oh.
and a frozen helmet.
I know I saw that picture this morning. Thanks.
Let's see this again.
Oh, well, he's moving.
Hey, VMAs. Let's get back to the music, shall we?
Yeah, his lips don't line up with the dialogue.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like a Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lip sync.
Yeah, I bet you they took something from like a press conference or something with the Hollywood vampires and just used that image of his head.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly the time you're talking about visually. So the oxymoronic nature of him saying, "Let's get back." What music?
I know. And then they play that
What
garbage.
music? The channel doesn't play music, and you should know that
Mhm.
because a lot of people don't realize Depp submitted with his band, the Kids, in the early '80s, submitted a video to MTV before he was ever acting, and it has MTV on the bottom. What do they do, Sarah? There's a button in the beginning of the video where it says MTV something something, and they submitted it to MTV to, they would sign them, not sign them, but play their video.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. It's been a while.
And if you have any semblance of musical integrity, Depp, you should know this effing thing. There's nothing resembles music on this channel. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows where it is. No matter what cable package you have, I dare you to say what channel it's on. You're not. I mean, it's like buried. Even if there's an MTV Classic now, where they go like, okay, well, we're gonna play. So they needed another channel just to say, we used to play videos, and it's just an easy thing. So they'll have like an
I
80s
couldn't
hour.
even, other than like challenge season 65, I don't know what else they play on MTV.
Barbara DeRush, I can't watch MTV Awards. I don't know. No, nobody does, Babs. Nobody does. G Canada. He's always talking Canada. Barbara DeRush, another good point. Yeah. This what that MTV crowd loves too. The Depp Beck collaboration. The same fans of Lizzo and Nicki Minaj love Jeff Beck. It's such a weird thing. His Depp's fame is so fucking weird. He's pushing 60. Can you imagine Robert De Niro and that's not that long. If you harken back to when De Niro was like in his late 50s, it's not that long ago. It's like, what is it, like the Copland days?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine De Niro doing this, like having a following, a millennial following like Depp
No.
does now?
No.
Because we used to always go like, what's it gonna be like when he's in his 50s and pushing 60? Like, what? How could you? Because he had that Peter Pan complex. It's like, what is he like later on?
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. It went very fast. He went from uh, Gilbert Grape to um, City of Lies or Minamata. It seemed like 5 years. But it's not. It's a long time ago, like Gilbert Grape and Benny and June and
30 years
Nick of
ago.
Time and 30 years ago. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did the guy who altered Depp's abuse images work on the CGI?
You think you're
And
I
right.
think you're talking about the defendant there with the manipulated digitry.
I want to give the Amber Heard superfan proper time here. Did the guy who altered Depp's abuse images work on the CGI as well? Depp's tech game is lacking.
I would have grabbed. NA later on says should have had Sarah grab his ass a la Luke Perry. All right, he's got a nice ass.
Oh, we're gonna see Luke Perry after this.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, every time I get a little choked up when I think of Luke Perry's death is horrible.
brutal death.
What a
Mm-hmm.
weird. That was a weird,
I
random.
know, and I don't
Don't.
want to. I don't
That's a
want to.
smoking thing, right, Sarah?
I don't know. I don't want to come off as like I'm an expert on strokes, but I know how brutal that is, and what you go through, the stages of recovery for that. And I can imagine everything that happened in that hospital room, and it is bone chilling just thinking about it.
I mean, this made huge. This thing, it's kind of a slow news week, pop culture wise. So shit
Mm-hmm.
like this, and they knew exactly what they were doing. Depp's team is like, who do you think is responsible for this? You think it's Jack Wiggum, his new agent? Do you think it was
Probably.
predetermined? Waldman's involvement, and everything is PR. And it looks, obviously the feminazi Amber Heard crowd thinks this looks ridiculously insensitive, and you're like gloating. And this is not the time, and she has no. It's amazing how little sympathy she's elicited from the collective.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, Harris asked for Luke. Okay, so
Rightfully so.
it's the Jersey Shore channel, says Jay. That's exactly right. I
Oh,
remember
oh, they're back, aren't they? Oh God.
accidentally flipping around, and
Ugh.
it was like nothing but Jersey Shore marathons when that show was big, and now they can't get away. They circle back to it. It's the Jersey Shore channel, says J.I. Young. 50-year-old tan Italian still rocking Ed Hardy
Yeah.
shirts and Air Force One. Air Force Ones. That's the go-to sneaker for them. I didn't realize that.
I don't know. I
Isn't that
haven't watched one
housewife?
episode.
Isn't that housewife show kind of that? You like
No.
the Jersey one? Isn't that kind of what
No.
they're going for?
How dare you?
No, I don't know.
You portray that like you haven't watched every episode, so shut
I've
up.
seen that Teresa broad, and it looks like they're trying to do like a Jersey and her brother, and
You
it looks
love
like a
Joe
Jersey.
Judice.
How do you say it?
Joe, oh please.
Guadici.
Judice.
They're her that brother of hers. They're going for some Jersey Shore knockoff thing. Am I right? Or they
No, I
have
think
to be.
that's just them. I don't think they're trying to rip
Oh,
anybody
okay.
off.
Depp jumped the proverbial shark with this
No.
MTV appearance.
Well, it doesn't count because he wasn't there. So there.
Well, that the Amber crowd's gonna go. Oh, he's really canceled. They just let CBS just is
No,
fine
he
with
shouldn't
this.
be. He never should have been canceled.
They're gonna go. Well, he lost the UK trial resoundingly,
And
and
nothing
so
like that. So
who was it? Was NA wants a best of three? He wants a third trial
okay.
for the best.
Well, bring it on again, and he'll win again.
I'll take it. That looks like the Roger Maris helmet.
Hmm.
That's a Johnny Limp Noodle. Johnny Limp Noodle is G Canada's name for him. G Canada's kind of a anti-establishment guy, and during this too, he's along in the NA camp. Do they get MTV in Canada? Babs DeRush with some
You
sarcasm.
got to have cable first, right?
I actually asked Sarah before we went on if she knew what a cheesesteak was. Like I just figured it was like a Northeast food that somehow the like.
Typical New Yorker. You don't think
I really,
anybody
I really.
outside of the tri-states knows what anything is? We're all hillbillies.
How about what Lauren Marie says here? I'm a little embarrassed for him. I hope he doesn't start doing a bunch of cheesy things like this. Maybe he's trying to make fun of how embarrassing the trial was for him. That's exactly what he's doing,
It's
Lauren.
a
And I
little
don't know.
outs. It's a little outside the norm, but it doesn't bother me.
Everyone's mixed on this. It's got a very polarizing thing. Like Lauren is a great example of someone who, if she's kind of rolling her eyes at this, chances are there's a lot of people. Lauren's a pretty big super Depp fan. Anyone whose favorite film was The Ninth Gate um, gets exalted to a the Depp super fan. She's the real
Mm-hmm.
deal, and her opinion counts.
Play a little
Very
more
much.
of this.
Okay, this is the end of the show. So they
Okay.
ended the show with it, and they kind of just played this in a loop, and he has no speaking. It's just like they did 3 interstitials,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did this to end the show. What's your favorites? This your favorites?
I don't even know what it is.
You love Mexican party. You love Hispanic
I didn't even know that's what it
Tejano
was.
party music, and that's your favorite. Yeah, you love Miami Beach music,
Okay.
Miami Beach party music, and this is it. You love this.
So, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Fair use.
technically, but our
What are you doing?
So I want to say that Depp was not their first choice to be the Moonman. Sarah's crazy cartoon cat
Oh,
Camilla,
God.
Camilla the Catstrom, which is an animated series I'd love to spearhead with David doing the theme music, the opening theme. I could totally see this. Sarah's cat Camilla was really the first choice, and Camilla turned it down out of artistic integrity. And this is how it would have looked. Camilla actually filmed it and then said she had her cat intuition. She said no to it, and this is
but
how it would
our
have looked. And Camilla got to the 1 yard line with it. She put Depp's face in the earth as he's the second choice.
She turned
That's
it down.
She
Get the
turned it
story
down. I know.
right.
I said she turned it down, but
She
she
had.
filmed it and then bailed at the last second. They filmed
She is a secret government assassin, and she had a mission, so she had to turn it down.
it.
Do you want a sound effect? This is our first ever drop. You ready?
Go ahead.
I'm playing it. Hold on. Okay. Did you hear that at all?
Is that her? Is that her?
Yeah, it's a video I have. Anyway, let's go. Let's move forward.
I'm not a cat person. I have to say that is one crazy, adorable, cute cartoon cat you have there.
Duh.
There's something about her. She stands out. I don't know what it is. I don't know. That's such a great job you did in putting her in that. She's the catstronaut. That's where I got
Well,
her from.
you'll notice she doesn't even need like the oxygen part of the helmet. She can just breathe in space.
Barbara DeRush has a great point. People in their 20s don't even know what the moon person symbolizes. I know. I know
Mhm.
they don't know the origin of MTV and what they have no idea you're so right. It's so wasted on that. It's such a weird. I can't believe they still do that show. It's so crazy.
I'm still chilled by moon person. I can't. I'll never accept it.
Dustin Rodney's why are we all tripping over Johnny's thirsty appearance at MTV when Dustin Hoffman asked Laurence Olivier why we act? Olivier grabbed the arms of Dustin's chair, got an inch from his face, and started repeating, "Look at me, look at me." Yeah, that's we overanalyze the sport of acting a lot of times. It's really just making pretend, isn't it?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, isn't it just making pretend you're someone else?
Yep.
When much music, Lauren Marie says, when much music turned into Fuse, I remember that. It was one of their reality shows briefly, Heavy Metal Makeover. My sister's boyfriend, Phil, you know Phil, right? This is classic Phil, too. Was getting the makeover, and my sister and I were invited on the show. That was in Canada. That's right. They're talking about G Canada's talking about that now. So this next one is for Pell-El.
Nobody cares about my
did it.
cat. Oh, goody. Copyright.
So there, Pell-El, you have Camilla is actually Panthro from the Thundercats' lost daughter. And then she's now on Earth, and she's going to resume Panthro's legacy after this. You can see the resemblance. So we found these pictures and we juxtaposed them with Panthro, who was also Miss Grandpa Cosby on the Cosby Show. Cliff, did you know I played Panthro on the Thundercats? So Pell found that was one of the nobody knew that Grandpa Cosby on the Cosby Show, Mr. Huxtable, was also the voice of Panthro. Earl Hyman. Look at that. Look at the resemblance. It's crazy.
Oh my God. You see it more than anybody else.
Oh my God, I can totally see this. Can't people see this? Holy shit. Panthro and Sarah's cat Camilla. Panthro from the Thundercats and Sarah's cat Camilla he could be a granddaughter at this point.
No, she's our mascot. She gets a cut of what we bring in. We pay for her likeness.
Here's the authority. Here's Pell. Camilla's face looks like Panthro. I kept her up after he came home way after curfew. I love that scenario. Barbara, you're in my neck of the woods. I'm in the Saratoga area. I love that upper state. So this ends here.
Yeah, before the theme song starts, yes.
Oh, stop. All right, so a couple of the things from this award thing I want to this is not the first time Depp played an astronaut. As I've told you, I'm a guy who's such a Depp head. I saw The Astronaut's Wife in the theater 6 times in 1999, and this is how that went.
Houston, permission to rotate the panel 48 degrees, over.
Roger. At 2:36 p.m., 125 miles above Earth, shuttle astronaut Spencer Armacost suddenly lost contact.
What the hell is
Suddenly lost.
Now, how's that astronaut for you, Sarah?
I'll take it.
You never saw The Astronaut's Wife, am I right?
Does he have a drop front on that astronaut suit?
Did you ever see The Astronaut's Wife?
Nope.
How come you haven't seen it?
I don't know. I'm turned off by the fact that he's like a bad guy, kind of. And he's dead. No spoilers, but I'm saddened by the fact that he's dead and he's like overtaken by an alien.
Yes
I don't
and
like it.
no. Depp is the guy. One of his superpowers is the charisma that he could play a quote bad guy and you're still rooting for him. I was rooting for Charlize Theron to die in this.
Yeah,
and rooting for
that's
him.
fine.
A
I wouldn't have a
possessed
problem.
astronaut. And he looks pretty good in that. I mean, the right stuff. So I got this from the trailer, so there's no problems with. There's just a little bit of a
Lost contact.
What the hell is that?
Johnny Depp.
I don't like him as a blonde.
Oh, I like that. He had the
They have
sun
matching. They have matching hair in this movie.
I know. Her hair was
Lost
shorter than his.
What
contact.
the hell is that?
Johnny Depp.
Why don't you like that dude? I think that's great. I think he
don't.
pulls
I
that
hate
off
it.
well. I like that dude.
It reminds me
Aviators,
of Gilbert
the
Grape and that horrible hair color.
the Joe Biden aviators.
Oh God. The Brandon Aviators.
Brendan with Panther Man from Buck Rogers. That's a great reference. Dad, do you remember we did a show? Remember I played you that clip that Charlize Theron does not like Depp.
Mm-hmm. For
She
no
had
good
a bad
reason.
it was a weird ass thing. I'm gonna have to play that in a future show. She was on Bill Simmons' podcast.
Wasn't it just because he took it too seriously?
No, some kind of method acting thing she claimed she was doing
Big
that
deal.
alienated her, but she was creeped out by it. It's the weirdest effing dialogue we gotta find that and play it again.
Yeah, tell her to fuck off. She cashed the check. She didn't have a problem doing that.
I've not heard him bring up the movie, her bring up the movie. There's something going on. And Michael Madsen hates him too.
Oh well.
Which is also weird. Remember that? He's like, I'm better off just not talking about him.
Yeah.
He's just
He's the
I can't.
he's the epitome of sanity.
He's got a story right now, right? He has some crazy shit. His son passed away, and Michael Madsen had some weird drama going on. We almost read a story on it. We didn't get to it. some weird he got arrested like 5 times in the last 2 years. Constant things with him. He's a weird guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute shit show. But he's Donnie Brasco. He played Sonny Black Napolitano. And so I think a lot of the crossover in this crowd we have in the chat, anyone who listens to this, probably harkens back to this moment in MTV when they saw Depp.
I would like to introduce my co-presenter, because no one else had the balls to show up and do it. So,
Rip Luke Perry, by the way. How many years ago did he die, Sarah? 3? 4?
Yeah, I think so. Look how fucking big that coat is. God, could swim in that.
Lauren Marie, so your friend, who you've actually spoken to on the phone, John Mayer
Mm-hmm.
in Albany, who looks more like Jack Depp's son than Depp does.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Depp looks more like John Mayer than he does his own father.
Of course.
I feel. And he also feels your body is in fact a T-Mobile Wonderland, if there ever was such a thing.
Boy stream.
from a land far away and long, long ago, it's a bird.
Ugh.
It's a plane. It's a really bad smell. Ladies and gentlemen, Fartman!
So unfunny.
1992, bud. Did you watch this live? You didn't have
No,
MTV.
I didn't have it.
I saw this. When I saw this, this brings me back. This is, we all know where we were when I was a very depressed college student at Murray State when this came out, and I watched this I had a TV in my room. For some reason, I was in the student lounge. It literally could have been a prison day room. It was such an unimpressive, and this was on, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, what the I'd been a stern, like, regular listener probably for about a year at that point. That was when I was like listening every day, and it was it was crazy to me. And I'm looking around, nobody knew who Howard was. This is like Kentucky, so everyone's just like had that like agape fucking that redneck kind of glassy eyed who gives a shit kind of thing when Howard came out, and really not knowing who he was because he was such a big market or tri-state area, but he was only syndicated in a few, and nobody really knew who he was. And
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky, like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's this 6'8" fucking Hebrew? Who's that Hebrew coming down in them wires?
Yes, I'm Fartman. Behold,
Never funny.
I'm Fartman.
Regardless of whether you think it's quote funny or not, and how lowbrow humor, it's not his. So even
know.
worse, it's National Lampoon's. He fooled everybody into thinking he had some owner. He like co-opted this, or so. Like he thought he was fooling the public into thinking he owned the rights to this Fartman when he's basically lifted it from National Lampoon verbatim. By the way, it's the same dialogue, it's the same costume, and he pretended there was a movie. He duped the general public into thinking there was a movie was going to be made that he didn't own the rights to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many years did he pull this farce that he was going to make the Fartman movie and stuff? And we bought it. Us rubes bought it.
I am a superhero, Fartman. Yes, Superman is nothing.
Look at those fucking birthing hips.
Fine, Chuck, when Howard was relevant. This is like when he made like a national splash for the first time. Fine, Chuck. This is like when this was important for Buckwald and company to get him in the national collective, because like it or not, this did put him on the national map. I feel maybe
Yep.
more than anything did. This is a big deal. This show is a big deal at the time.
Fartman. Yes.
As David, of course, points out, John Stamos, for some reason, took over for Luke Perry in the private parts reenactment of this. I'm trying to remember why Luke Perry turned it down. There was some reason. I'm blanking on it. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. He said something like, I didn't want to go back to that, or I don't know. There's some nebulous reason why Perry turned it down.
He's got like birthing hips and big old Marfan titties.
Oh yeah, he saw. This is probably like the origins of his anorexia, seeing himself, and which I think he's actually said. Like, and he was skinny at this point, but he's classic fucking skinny fat. There's nothing you can do to that veal physique. A life, 40 odd years of no activity, and he's suddenly going to try to get it in shape at 40 something. Doesn't
Mhm.
work. Metabolism shot. He'll never. There's no way you can polish that turd. No matter what no matter how many egg whites he eats, no matter how he starves himself, he's always going to be a fucking hideous goblin. There's nothing you can do to polish this turd.
Behold, the most beautiful of sights. It is this. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I am Fartman.
Always the huckster.
Is the camera getting a good shot of my beautiful ass? Look at
Jones Rooney with a Dan the Song parody man. Punny joke. Oh, this is good stuff. Stern was a real lampoon hound. I love a
it
good
has
Dan the Song
powers.
parody man
Allow
reference.
me
Where's
to
Bon Jovial
demonstrate
and Brendan
the
when you need
greatest
him?
farting powers of all.
Agreed, Lauren Marie. Bodily function jokes aren't funny. I didn't like them then. I don't like them now. Color me pretentious. Color me upscale. I don't. That lowbrow stuff in the Stern Show never did shit for me. It was one of the things you just cringed at the silhouette. Yes, Gina. I never dug any. What was it? Dan the Farter does nothing for me. Nothing. 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 Couldn't agree more. Just
Mhm.
not saying I'm some fucking intellectual, some academic, pedantic motherfucker. It never did shit for me. How about you, Sarah? Fart humor. Who cares?
It depends on who says it and how they present it. I will laugh at a good poop joke and fart joke. Not this. This is stupid.
Pell, this is Howard's idea alone, and that's why it stunk. Well said, sir. Couldn't agree more. Bulimia was born that night. Absolutely, Gina. Absolutely. Gina Bobina.
Mm.
Okay. Did I just hear Sariana Huffington in the background?
No.
I thought I did. Okay. And real quick,
Mm.
want to this was something I forgot to do last time. So we talk about the controversy of Aquaman 2 being delayed now to December 23rd, 5 years after the original came out. And Amber Heard already had a gaggle of haters back then and petitions and stuff. Aquaman 1 came out, top DC movie selling, had a great tongue-in-cheek sense of humor about itself. Fun movie, not a masterpiece artistically, but a fun movie. And for DC, their most successful film. So one of the things I forgot to mention was it was announced, not very much like this, like a leak, quote unquote, that Ben Affleck, Batfleck, is now. And I don't know if it's going to be as Bruce Wayne, maybe an environmentalist angle, because the movie's an environmental kind of take on us humans polluting the Atlantean's ocean, which is true, which we do pollute the ocean too much. So it's a take on environmental take, and maybe maybe it's going to be well done on that, but they don't know what to do. And there's all sorts of delay. The theory with Amber Heard, they don't know how to write her out. And now another theory is that this gives them time to incorporate Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and/or Batman into the Aquaman movie. So this is the story.
Official, Ben Affleck will appear in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom as Batman. Jason Momoa revealed the news about the return of his Justice League co-star on Instagram.
Yeah, so Jason Momoa's Instagram is Pride of the Gypsies. So you've seen him, Sarah, right? He rides. He's literally like the Highlander. He like rides a motorcycle around. He's now like this loose cannon F machine. There's not single Momoa, and they're officially divorced. Him and Bonet, or what's the story with
I
this?
don't know. Last time I heard they were trying to work it out. I have no idea.
And he's like riding with bikers and going on these adventures. I don't know. And he's I like Momoa, but he's basically going to play Aqua Drago for the rest of his life. He can't play anything but that. I mean, I'd like him to, but he's
So is he like riding around like Lorenzo Lamas on
yes,
the USA
yes,
Network?
yes, 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 yes. Which I believe was a Stephen J. Cannell
Renegade.
show.
I
Renegade.
couldn't think of the name Renegade.
Yes, your favorite show.
Mm-hmm.
Reunited, Bruce and Arthur. Love you, miss you, Ben. WB's studio tour has just explored the backlot. All right, busted on set. All great things coming on Aquaman 2. All my aloha.
Oh, God.
Permission
Please
to come
dance to
aboard.
Haka. That will put this over the top.
Permission to come aboard.
Yes.
I say Bruce Wayne because Ben Affleck is wearing a Bruce Wayne suit here. So
Oh,
I
maybe.
believe they filmed the cameo. I believe it's a Bruce Wayne. It may not be Batman. It may be Bruce Wayne in an environmental angle.
I'm
where
only
Bruce-
going to watch it if J-Lo can worm her way in for a cameo. That's the only way you'll get me to watch Aquaman 2.
Selena,
Ugh.
the spell.
Big dumper in a leather bondage outfit.
After fans on a Warner Brothers bus tour apparently caught wind that Affleck was there filming with him. Affleck previously announced his retirement as Batman in 2019 and has been open about his personal.
Howard is a voyeur, says Jay Young. Is the old guy you see at the nude beach walking around with a boner. Yes, yes, yes. And looking at penises with his daughter is singing penis colada songs, Jay Young. During that Luke Perry thing, that homo erotica closet case, we just didn't it was for us. He was hiding in plain sight. He kisses Luke Perry. Hugs. He's doing all that homoerotic bullshit he does to this day. When he does that sort of like, he thinks it's like the gay humor, where he comes out and kisses and dances with Letterman. He does it every effing appearance. It was right there for us. We just never wanted to see it. All the way back in '92, it was there.
And professional strife that came with the role. So it came as a surprise 2 years ago when it was revealed that Affleck was suiting up once more for The Flash, the Ezra Miller starring film due out June 23rd, 2023, and that will also feature Michael Keaton as Batman.
And the mess that is DC with the Ezra Miller bullshit. And they're saying, like, well, why is Amber Heard canceled, but Ezra Miller is not? And then everything they do is a shit show. It is a mess. Everything. There's not. They bring in Michael Keaton to do like a Flashpoint cameo. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. What a shit show this DC shared universe, cinematic universe is.
It was assumed that would be Affleck's last time in the role, but now his return is earlier than expected, with Lost Kingdom arriving March 17th, 2023.
That's it. Permission to come aboard.
Granted.
That's it. David says Howard's bodily function humor is the more to get his staff talking about it because it's a way for him to sexualize them without them actually knowing it. The staff thinks it's just locker room talk. Agreed, David. That's clandestine sexualizing. I agree, for his own jerk off spank bank material when he gets home. Absolutely.
Affleck played Batman in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, and Justice League. At one point, he was set to direct and star in The Batman before stepping back. The film ultimately went on to star Robert Pattinson and was directed by Matt Reeves. For more on this story, head to thr.com.
Barbara DeRush with a compliment for David. I agree, David. You have a very psychological brain. In another life, that was my if I had to do it all over again thing, I'd be Jason Seaver with the psychologist's office on the side of the house. But am I capable of doing it? One of the things about mental health, people that go into it, is you better have a natural ability to do it, because like in other occupations, there are bad cops, there are bad doctors, there are bad psychologists and therapists, there are bad psychiatrists, and unfortunately, just because you're certified doesn't mean you're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
You better have a natural inclination for a curiosity about people, because I've had psychologists and psychiatrists who were really bad at their job, just were jaded, had no natural curiosity, weren't well-rounded individuals, and just didn't have any good repartee, but just certified. They just that's their job. They're not good at it.
And for the latest entertainment news and updates, keep watching the Hollywood Reporter News.
Okay. So now the Aquaman 2 thing now, what the theory is that to film his scenes is enough to build more of a buzz, and they want the Amber Heard stuff to officially die.
Yeah.
And I've heard a theory too that they're afraid of COVID still. that they don't want the
No.
theater being sullied by any COVID relapse shit. So now, like, you come in and you get to, and there's another COVID surge. They want COVID to be in the rearview mirror. I don't know. There's all sorts of theories
People
as
are
to
going
how
to the movies. We're fine. We're
I
doing
don't.
fine.
They're not going to be satisfied unless they hit the same mark they did last time. So
Well,
they're
they're not
nervous.
going to.
You know what a shit show their management is. Their executives are. They're afraid of everything. Everything. All those things coming together keeps causing them to delay it.
Well,
And
if they're following in the footprints of Wonder Woman, this sequel won't make a third of what the first one did
the
because it
other
will be
thing
utter
is,
trash.
and this is valid, they're afraid of Avatar. So Shazam 2 was
Ugh.
slated to go against Avatar, and they needed to move Shazam 2, which caused them to move Aquaman because they didn't want Shazam to be too close to Aquaman. So that's another theory. So it's all these things. I would love. Would it be so bad if DC and Warner Brothers came out and said, "This is why we're moving it. This is why." If they don't
Mm,
say anything, we're going to be, conjecturing all these conspiracy theories because you don't deserve our benefit of the doubt. You've done nothing other than what, two successful movies, Aquaman 1 and Wonder Woman 1.
yep. Let's just skip Shazam 2. Nobody cares.
I like Shazam.
We don't need a goofy
Me and
Shazam
Elvis
movie.
love Shazam.
No.
Shazam is actually one of the more successful movies in terms of reviews.
I saw it in the theater. I hated it.
It's
I
not
don't
for you.
need I don't need a goofy DC superhero. Just
Yeah,
make
but
a good movie.
basically they tried to do the Tom Hanks movie Big with superheroes, which is kind
Oh,
of
it's
the
horrible.
Shazam. I mean, it's not for you, but it was one of the, in terms of reviews go, it's probably in their top 3 most successful movies.
Ugh.
And that's not saying much, I know. If they ever were Conan, Serious Man. Yeah, Momoa's already played Conan, Brendan. I don't know if you knew that. There was a Conan, was it Sarah Conan in 2011?
Yep.
He played him. It's pretty good too. Is
Who
it
was
just
the
called
first call?
Conan the Barbarian?
I don't remember, but it was yeah, I think it was just Conan the Barbarian.
That's, see, Brendan just like kind of unknowingly went over. He has to play that barbarian warrior type and everything. He has no choice.
The
He has
problem
no
is
choice.
he needs a beard. He didn't have a beard in that movie.
Speaking of beards, nobody's gonna. Matt Rodney goes. Nobody's gonna mention how Howard replaced Luke Perry with.
We did.
No, we did already, Rodney. I think you clicked out. That David, of course, brought it up with Stamos. So those are the theories. So let's go on. So now you want to go to Overhauling now?
Yep, please. It's going to take a
Do you want
while.
to play the episode or do you want me to play the testimony first?
The
I'll play
testimony.
testimony second. The
What?
David Kalaki testimony about
Oh, let's do
Overhaul.
that. Yeah, and then we'll get to the episode.
Let's do the episode first
Okay.
because Kalaki comes after the
All
episode. So
right.
let's just do it in timeline. John, let's just save John Waters for next one. John Waters was on Bill Maher on Friday, and Depp
Gross.
came up, and John Waters is bragging about how fearless he is and politically incorrect. And as soon as Depp's name came up, he was like, "No, I can't talk about that."
Mm-hmm.
And Maher's like,
Looking
"Why?
looking
Why?"
creepy as ever.
It's so weird. He's such a weirdo. I mean, like Mars going, you're fearless. You'll do it, and then he goes like, I can't talk about Johnny. And he repeated the exact same joke. He's like writing material for the Depp Heard stuff. If anybody asks him about it, so he has
Mm-hmm.
like canned jokes ready.
Of course.
I'll play that again Friday.
And that Sharpie mustache. Oh,
I know.
so gross.
So here's so let's give the little bit of a setup, Sarah. You want
Okay.
to do the setup?
Yes, this is probably, I'm trying to find the exact air date, but I'm thinking this is in late 2014 or very early 2015 that this was filmed. They refer to Amber Heard as being his fiance. But anyway, what happened is Depp took her Mustang away from her for a period of 2 years because she wanted it renovated. So here we are.
Right. So this show is called Overhauling.
Mm-hmm.
And it is basically a knockoff Motorhead Gearhead version of Ashton Kutcher's Punked, which oddly was on MTV. And they do like a it's like Punk'd meets Jay Leno's Garage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for gearheads, and I'm not sure what channel it's on.
I don't even
And it's
know.
been on a few seasons, and this was like their season
I think this is their last
finale
season.
or
Yeah.
the first episode. It's an
First.
hour long too, which I didn't. I had only known this clip from YouTube, and they just had the same. What's that? 3 minutes you'd see over and over again, but it's a full hour episode. Depp's and Amber Heard's dad, David Heard, the Michael Vick dog fighter, they did
Wife
a
abuser.
prank on her where they stole her car 2 years prior, and they overhauled it, as it were, and they turned it into this, like, they updated it and used it. And this, again, I'm going to go into this later. The Mustang happens to be the same exact car Tom Hansen drove in 21 Jump Street, this late 60s Mustang. Is that a coincidence?
Yes.
I think not.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm not. You say I'm ridiculous. Bullshit. Bullshit. I have, and I got a clip from that episode. Not that episode. Depp drove the car. Depp's
Mm.
drove Depp's character in 21 Jump Street, Tom Hansen, drove a late 60s Mustang. It's the exact same fucking car she's using here. I can't believe that's coincidence. I refuse to.
Anything for Johnny Depp.